Hello fans, welcome to our channel. Today we will talk about negotiations, injuries, and updates. Leave your like, it helps the channel a lot. Injury update: Barcelona defender misses training ahead of Elche clash. After the end of the international break, FC Barcelona completed preparatory training ahead of their next league game against Elche CF. According to Diario Sport, Xavi Hernandez had the luxury of having all the players, including players who were out for the international break, available. With the exception of Ronald Araujo, the centre-back was not part of the training, which raises questions about his availability against Elche. The Uruguayan international had picked up a knock during the game against Real Madrid earlier in the month. He had to wear an ice pack late in the game, with Barcelona subsequently confirming his injury, while no timeline was given. It is thought Araujo would be available for the second leg Copa del Rey semifinal game against the same opposition. Araujo is one of two players, along with Frenkie de Jong, who still have a chance of making it to the squad ahead of this crucial Copa del Rey semifinal. The defender, in fact, is likely to return to action, whereas de Jong remains a doubt. Meanwhile, both Pedri and Andreas Christensen had been ruled out of the tie, along with Ousmane Dembele, whose recovery has been slower than anticipated, though the player has worked exceptionally hard, heading into this game with a 1-0 advance. A clean sheet will be enough for Barcelona to secure a berth in the Copa del Rey final. Barcelona to begin renewal talks with winger. Once finances stabilize, player has given his okay. After a first for dull seasons, Ousmane Dembele finally came into his own at Barcelona under Xavi. Assisting 13 goals in 21 league appearances last season, the Frenchman was finally feeling at home, even though his contract was set to expire in the summer of 2022. Until then, Dembele had shown no signs of wanting to renew at Camp Nou, and was reportedly demanding wages worth nearly €40 million per year. Barcelona found this to be unreasonable, given their financial situation, and refused to extend him on his terms, under fear that he might leave for free. The Catalans completed the signing of Rafinha from Leeds United for the right-wing position for nearly €60 million, while Dembele ended up renewing just before the season started. He only penned a 2-year deal that also included a 2023 summer release clause, worth a measly €50 million. Now an integral part of the squad, Dembele has finally given his okay to sign another long-term extension. According to Mundo Deportivo, Barcelona will begin talks with him over the new deal once their finances are more stable. Currently, they would not be able to register the Frenchman even if the two parties reach an agreement over an extension. Barcelona are not concerned about his low release clause either, as the player has promised the board that he will not leave. Dembele has been battling against Rafinha for a spot on the right wing in the team, with the two racking up a total of 20 goals and assists. At present, though, Dembele is struggling with an injury and has not participated in the last 11 games for Barcelona. He was expected to be back for the Real Madrid clash in the Copa del Rey semi-finals second leg, but his recovery has gone slower than anticipated, sidelining him for another 3 weeks. Barcelona do not plan to sign right back in the summer due to FFP issues. Jules Koundé has been solid at right back for Barcelona this season, however. He has shown his prowess as a centre-back time and time again, and deploying him in his natural position would boost the side's dominance on the field. It was thus the Catalans' top priority to sign a right back heading into the next season. Names like Juan Foyth and Joao Cancelo were considered, with Thomas Meunier being a reportedly serious candidate. According to reports from Luis Rojo, however, the situation has changed. The Blaugranas no longer plan on signing a right back in June, as the operation is not working out to be financially feasible with the FFP. The primary reason for such a concern is the heavily inflated market for young talents, especially young fullbacks. A recollection of Malo Gusto, a former Barcelona target for the right back, gives a clear picture of the situation. The teenage right back was one of the most promising names on the market and was picked to make the jump to a top side. Chelsea eventually signed him mid-season at a premium to avoid a bidding war in the summer. and shelled out €35 million for the 19-year-old. Such large figures would not sit well on the club's already precarious finances, especially given that they would still need to sign a striker and a midfielder at least in June. Villarreal demand €54 million for their star 1/4. The number gets significantly higher for an established star like Cancelo. Joan Laporta instead aims to invest the same resources and sign a winger, a striker, a defensive midfielder and an interior in addition to a centre-back like Inigo Martinez. Come the summer transfer window, only time will tell whether the Spanish giant's gamble at right-back pays off or not.